Everybody's pulling on that chain together.
So I'm fascinated to kind of learn a little bit more about what that looks like. I imagine, of course, with things that are said, how they go about playing and setting the standard that way. Is it sometimes just as something as simple as a look, or how does that all work internally?
Sometimes it's just the look. Sometimes it's what they do on the ice. A back check, Connor blocking a shot in the, I think it was against LA. There's just little moments that you can pick from that shows you how much they care, how much they want it, and what they'll do to get there.
Does Connor ever give the same look to teammates as he does to me when I ask him a bad question?
I'm sure he does. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
It's good to see that we're not the only ones
No.
who get that look too. I just wanted to ask you, was there a moment in the postseason this year, Corey, where you looked and you said, we're going now, we got this?
It was probably against LA when I think we were down by 2 goals in game 3 in the 3rd period. And it could have been in the last couple of minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And we found a way to come back. It might have been game 4, I'm sorry, where we found a way to come back and win in overtime. And I think when we got that win, it flipped the script on how we have to play. We have to start in our zone and work our way out. We can't give up 5 goals and expect to score 6 every night to win. That's not how the playoffs work. We can do that if that does happen, but that's not how you have a successful team. And I think guys have really bought into that.
I remember talking to you midway through the year, and you were saying how you've adjusted your off-ice training in season to better prepare you for now. So I wonder kind of in what ways are you feeling the benefits of the work you put in leading up to?
Well, I always had those guys in Anaheim, in who we mentioned, Pronger, Niedermeyer, Solani, the list can go on, but those 3 guys, and they're always working out. And, a young kid, I don't need to do that. Whatever, I'll get to it later and never do it. But now, I'm probably one of the first couple guys here in the gym every morning doing my thing, because I'm 40 years old. I have to stay up to speed with all these young guys. They're all bigger, faster, and stronger coming into the league. And I love where our game's going. It's getting fast, but I have to put in the extra work to stay up at that speed and still be effective.
Kyle is a big equipment guy.
Okay.
And he noticed, have you been using skates from the time you first entered into the NHL during the playoffs?
If he's a big equipment guy, he's probably noticed that I've used those my whole career. A little bit at the beginning of this year. I was using some different ones. Just comfortable in those skates. Love those skates.
Yeah, he noticed it was kind of on and off.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if there was a particular time that you picked them or a particular thing.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, if we got into all the details of it, we'd be here all day. So.
There are a lot of gear nerds out there, though. They like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so do I. My skates are my tools. Guys are, serious about their sticks, or guys are serious about different things. For me, very particular about my skates. The way I move on the ice is what sets me apart. And I need to have skates that allow me to move the way I want to.
Are you the only one that uses those anymore? Is there anybody else?
I would think so, but yeah, I think so.
Okay. And is there a particular reason that you go to that pair in terms of the way you're feeling or what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for a specific feeling, a specific. I'm looking for something particular in skates that. And I feel like those ones give me that feeling that I'm looking for. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. They allow me to play the game that I want to play, move the way I want to move, do the things that I can do, and I'm comfortable in that pair of skates.
Stan Bowman was meeting with the media earlier today, and he said from the moment he first met you when he got here, that's all you guys have been talking about, the Stanley Cup. It's been the sole purpose on your mind. And I don't think that surprises anybody, but just in terms of the way you prepared for this year to get back to this point, was there anything different that you really did that you thought made a big difference?
I think this year's been different, just with how low maintenance the year has been, you know. There hasn't been any dramatic, you know, collapses like we've had in years past in the middle of the year, or dramatic, terrible starts, or this year's been kind of just like a slow march. That's the way it's felt all year long, you know. And this group has never been more prepared to be in this situation, to win. Yeah, the group's in a really good place.
You know, I really like hearing you talk like that, because on the outside, everybody's always like, the fans and the media were always like,
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny to hear that it's just interesting to hear that you never felt it was like this. You always thought there was a...
It's interesting that this year, more so than others, I would say fans and media have been up and down on us. But in the room, I feel like it's been more steady, where in years past, you know, our game has been, you know, we're 2-15 to start, you know, and then we have this dramatic, you know, kind of rise from the dead, and then in the year before that, we're a great team, and then we can't win a game for 6 weeks. It's like, it's that, you know, I would say years past has been a little bit more up and down. This year's just been kind of like a slow, steady, you know, march to this point, as I said.
Corey Perry said it's a very mature team, understands everything about this. You agree, obviously.
I agree, you know. It's funny, like, you know, the coach always says, you know, we're a mature team. I always joke, you know, we're the oldest team in the league. We should be mature, you know. Everybody's over 30, so no excuse not to be the most mature team. But I feel like we are, you know. There hasn't been, you know, any moment that's been too big, or any, you know, loss or disappointment that's been too big to overcome. Yeah, it's been a fun group to be part of.
You know, the thing that was most impressive to just me watching Connor was, I didn't know if I believed you guys could win 14 games without Ekholm. I really didn't know that I believed that.
Yep.
And like, were you worried about that at all?
Anytime someone like Eki goes out, you're worried. But it speaks to the depth that we have. We've had